Hey everyone! Happy Monday! It's Shelly Wasso coming to you live from Chicago. Happy Monday! Happy Monday! I had a super busy day and it started with a lot of snow. So I am from Chicago. We've had a lot of snow and I'm here to talk about money. Does money buy happiness? Anyway, my name is Shelly Wasso. I am a full-time corporate executive, mama of two amazing boys, married to my high school sweetheart. I am a multipreneur, but more importantly, I'm super excited to launch my training, which is going to actually launch a few times during the year because I'm excited to share with you my tips and tricks and habits and things that I have done to live a rich life. My Do It Rich program, I'm super excited about it, and if you've been following me, you know I've been talking about it a bit, so I'm not here to share more on this training about it, but you could always reach out and ask me about that, what it entails and such. Anyway, I want to know, I'm just giving it a little bit of time to let people get on, but I want to know, do you believe, does money buy happiness? So if you're watching or once you get on, let me know. Do you believe money buys happiness? Yes or no? Or just put, yes, money buys happiness. No, money does not buy happiness. Let me know what you think. Because I'm here to tell you that money does buy happiness. Of course, if you know me, that you'll know that my answer was yes. And it's not really about money. So I'm here to give you 4 things about money that I want to share, but more to really talk about how we think about money, because we really think about money wrong. We don't talk about money and we think about it negatively, right? So money's not just about paying bills or being in debt, or I don't have enough money, or I don't make enough money, therefore I feel like a failure. Like, those are a lot of the things of how we think about money. So number 1, we think about money incorrectly. We don't talk about money enough within our family, with our accountability partners, but we need to think about it differently and we need to talk about it more. So really, money is about spending money is about experiences. It's about giving back. It's about impacting others. It's about leaving a legacy behind for your family. It's about being able to live a healthier lifestyle, right? So if we think about money in those aspects, being able to live a healthier lifestyle, giving a legacy to our family, being able to give back, having amazing experiences, right? Then those are things that bring happiness instead of the negative thoughts that we think about with money. So growing up, we're usually not taught to talk about money, right? We don't, it's actually statistics show, well, one, we're not really brought up to talk about, like politics, religion, money. Those are things that we shouldn't talk about, right? And then there's actually statistics out there. This is crazy, but there's statistics out there that show that we would rather, so while we don't talk about religion, politics, and money, those are like the things that we don't want to talk about, statistics actually show that we'd rather talk about politics, religion, health issues. We would even rather talk about sex over money. So all those things that we don't talk about, money comes last. It's like the last thing that we want to talk about. And money actually has emotion to it, right? It can be it's so stressful when we think about money. It actually can cause psychological distress. It's got so much emotion tied to it. So there's so much, but we can change how we think about it and how we understand it. And if you learn to like it, it can really help you. So I'm gonna just give you some tips on why at its core, so how we view money, its values, how it motivates us. So I'm gonna give you 4 tips that I wanna share with you. So one thing is how to get comfortable with talking about money is to just talk about it. So one thing is like ask yourself these questions. Do you even know what your household income is? Do you guys have a budget? Do you know what all your bills are? Do you share and have these conversations with your children? Like, do your children know what your household income is? Do they understand what all your bills are? Like those things. So if you know who I am, and I just in my intro said that we have I said 2 amazing boys. I didn't say how old they are. So our boys are 20 and 23, and we've always been really open at talking about them with money, about the household income, about bills, about budgeting, about credit cards. So those things, it's super important that you talk about those things with your kids, but then more importantly is to be talking about it with your spouse or your partner, or even accountability partners. So I just this year I'm super excited. I'm in Danelle Delgado's mastermind, and one thing is that we're all talking about our businesses and our goals, and we tie money to them. So how much money we're going to generate, how we're going to get there. So having accountability partners outside of even talking about those things in your household is super important. So then number 2 is to just bust some money myths. So I love Dave Ramsey. I don't know if some of these came from Dave Ramsey or just came from some of the things that I read or podcasts that I listened to. But I'm going to give you 3 like money myths to bust because these are just easy things that we should all really think of and know, which is I can always save later. Like we always say, like, oh, I can always save money later, or I'm going to always save next year I'm gonna save X amount of money. But really, and you should teach your kids this at a young age. We always taught them like this 70-30-10 rule, which was 70% of your income is your monthly expenses, 30% is savings or investing, and then always take 10% to donate. So it's important to save, and saving can mean putting it in real estate. So saving just doesn't have to be savings. The stock market is too risky for me. So that's another like money myth to bust. The stock market is amazing, and you should really learn about it and dabble in it, or like really get, if you're not one to get completely into it, you have to at least dabble a little bit in it. One thing is that my husband does all the investing, and he's super good at it, and he follows, and my boys do the same. So sometimes I feel a little bit removed because they're the ones that are doing it, but I love listening and following, and he always shares with me where we're at and what we're doing. So don't think that the stock market is too risky for me. It's like amazing times right now to be investing in the stock market. And then another money myth that I believe is a bust is credit cards should be avoided, but credit cards have amazing value. There's like point systems, and there's so many things with credit cards that are so amazing right now that you could totally take advantage of. Plus it builds credit. Especially, again, I'm going to go back to a young age, is that if your kids aren't building credit, I have a story. There's this story that I've shared a couple times, but somebody that I knew back in my corporate life, he never had a credit card, and he always paid everything cash, and he was younger and never really built like true credit. And then he went to go get a house and he couldn't get the loan for the house because he never built credit. So at some point you do have to build credit, but as long as you're paying off your credit cards have huge advantages. So those were just some of my bust your money myths. And then 2 more things. You need to save more than you think for retirement. Like retirement, sometimes we don't think about retirement until we're getting like closer to that retirement age. And then I guess now that I'm in my 50s, I think I've always thought about retirement, but always outside of like my 401k, just because I know the things that we have always wanted, and I know how expensive things are. So you have to think like far beyond retirement. And then my last thing is just money mindset. And I talk about positive mindset all the time, and it's the same thing with money. We always say like, if you're always saying I'm never going to get out of debt, or I'm always going to be broke, or how am I going to pay for that, or I'm never going to be able to afford that, like that's all negative talk surrounding money. So if you surround that negative talk with money, then of course you're never going to get out of it, because you have to besides change your mindset, you have to change your talk. So we say we have to do that for ourselves, right? Like we say, I can do it, or I will do it, or don't use the negative words, but it's the same thing with money. If you're saying I'm never going to be able to afford it, or I won't be able to buy that until next year, those are all negative words surrounded with money that aren't going to help you get where you want to get. Anyway, those are my tips surrounding money. I just wanted to bring this up. I was listening to some things in a podcast this morning working out, and I'm trying to listen to some different people, and I was listening to Grant Cardone, and there was some just great money topics that he was talking about. So it made me think that I wanted to talk a little bit about money mindset. And money can just be like the source of so many things, fear and limitations and stress. And so all I want to say is that while I'm saying that money can buy happiness, it's really, there's this saying that I love that I have here that's, and I don't remember where I got it from, was that besides stress money can be a source of stress and fear and limitations and all these things, you have to think of it like this. Or think of money like this. It can be a beautiful tool to solve problems, live generously, and change the world. Like, I love that saying. Money can be a beautiful tool. So if you say this and think of money like this, money can be a beautiful tool to solve problems, live generously, and change the world. Because there's so many things, again, if we think of money differently, that can just change our mindset of what that happiness means, making an impact, changing the world, helping others, solving problems. If we think of money like that, then it just plays a better role in our life. And that's important for it to play a better role in our life. So anyway, I hope that gave you some good things to think about. And then if you haven't signed up for my newsletter, because I'm going to be sharing starting in February, I'm going to have a newsletter that's going to be coming out with some of these topics to just share with you. You can go to my website at shellywasso.com and sign up for my newsletter there, and then I will be sharing some of my habits and goals and tips and tricks of how I got where I am. And happy Monday, stay warm. It's super cold in Chicago. Watch the replay. Hey Lori, watch the replay. Happy Monday. See you soon.